Hello everyone, welcome in the video lecture 11.1. In this video we are going to learn about exception handling. जी हाँ, इस वीडियो में इस लेक्चर में हम exception handling के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. तो first of all we are going to learn what is exception, importance of exception, use of try, except, else and finally all these blocks in this exception, how to create program with the help of exception handling concept and types of built-in exceptions. Okay. Now last we have global and local variables और कुछ examples भी देख लेंगे हम. तो let's start. तो let's understand first of all what is exception. Exception is a kind of error which is thrown by the processor during runtime. We have understood about different types of error like compile time error, like syntax error, like syntax error. We have logical error. Then in the same way we have also exception, but the exception is a kind of error which is thrown by the processor during runtime, not by the compiler. Compiler throws only the error which is caught during compilation time, but during execution time, when program is being executed by the processor, that time if any kind of error is occurred, then exception is thrown. So once again we can see कि a kind of exception in programming is an event that disrupts the normal flow of program's execution. Exception typically occurs due to unforeseen circumstances or during runtime, such as trying to divide a number by 0, accessing a non-existent file, or passing incorrect data type into a function. When an exception occurs, it causes the program to raise or throw an error. जब भी exception occur होता है तो ये प्रोग्राम को either बोलता है, means it forces program to either raise or throw an error, which if it is unhandled then can halt the program, means program execution will stop. आपका प्रोग्राम जो भी execution कर रहा है वहीं पे stop हो जाएगा. एक हम let us understand with help of one scenario कि for example you are watching YouTube video, that is a normal execution of your flow. But as soon as internet disconnected, then your execution of means your processing of video, your watching time of video is going to be interrupted suddenly. So that is kind of exception. Another case we can take, a plane is going to its destination in a normal way, but suddenly something happened and due to that any fire is caught. So that is a kind of exception. Okay, so this is exception. And if you want to take real life example, so sometime when you are going to book tickets or sometime you are going to do online purchasing, that time you are making transaction. अब जैसे transaction कर रहे होते हैं तो बीच में ही आपका if internet is disconnected, so due to disconnection of internet your transaction is not completed, and because of incomplete transaction your purchase or shopping is not done properly. Then how to handle it? Then the program is made in such a way that if this kind of problem occurred, a proper message will be sent to the user on the screen कि internet is disconnected or some problem happened. In that case whatever transaction you have done, that will be reverted back, or money debited from your account, it will be reverted back. Means that is kind of exception handling process. Okay, the same thing we are going to learn here कि how to handle exception. In our normal programming, if we are going to make a program in which we are providing a number, and for that number we need to calculate, for example I am showing you with the help of example right now. Suppose I am taking a number 300, a equal to 300 and b equal to 4, and if I am going to divide a by b, then proper output is coming. So this is not exception, this is not error, there is nothing. But again I am going to allot 0 to c and trying to divide a number by 0, then now this is kind of exception, this is not error, this is exception. So you can see 0 division error. So this is exception, means a processor is trying to divide a number by 0 which is not possible. C is holding a number which is 0. Syntactically it is correct, there is no grammatical, there is no logical error, there is no syntax error, but when it is going to be executed by the processor, that time processor is not able to execute. So this is a kind of exception. In the same way, when we use int function, and inside of int function if we pass any numeric value in the form of character, it will be converted to numeric value, right? But if we are passing any character and that we want to be converted into numeric form, so that is kind of exception. Okay, that is also kind of exception. So this is value error, invalid literal for int function. Okay, so this is a kind of exception. So this type of situations we have to handle in our program. If a program is running and by mistake user is going to enter something, some wrong data, some wrong value, then how your program will handle? Normally your program will terminate immediately as soon as any wrong data will be entered. Your program will exhaust. How? Let us see. Let us make a program. For example, I am making a program for calculating some numbers. Okay, so let's do num equal to input. Okay, enter a number, and this number need to be converted into integer before processing. Means you need to convert so that it can be processed, and we want to generate the result. And what is result? It should be number into number into number, means cube of the number we are generating, for simple. Okay, and now see, I am trying to print output, and what is output? Result. Okay, now this program will go fine. Now see the output. I am trying to enter a number, suppose 5, then we are getting output properly, right? But again, if you're trying to run the program and in the place of number by mistake I have typed m, so m is not a number, it is character, then it is not going to be converted into numeric form. So that is why now it is throwing value error. Syntactically, logically program is correct, but when it is going to be processed by the processor, so during runtime program is throwing error. Okay, so this is known as exception. Now how to handle it? Now our program has been terminated immediately with the error message, but we don't want user to see this message, right? User is not required to see this message. In the place of this message, user must be shown a proper message, kindly enter valid numeric value, like that. Okay, so we have to put all this statement, means whatever statement may throw error, so those all statement must be inside of try. So try, after putting try, then use colon sign, then bring all the statement within try. Okay, if you think these lines can contain exception, then put under try, and now use except, and here you can print proper message, kindly enter proper or valid numeric value. Okay, so this message we have given. Let us see. Now if we are trying to provide proper number 5, it is giving proper output. Now if I am trying to give another character, now there is no error thrown by the computer. Okay, no error is being thrown by the processor. It is giving proper message, kindly enter a valid number. So now user is going to understand कि he has to enter number, by mistake he has entered any character. So this is kind of exception handling. So now we are able to handle the exception. Okay, understood. Now common reasons for the exceptions. So invalid operations, like we are trying to divide a number by 0. Okay, so this leads to the zero division error. So for every type of different exceptions, a proper exception handler is there, so that will be using for that purpose. Invalid input or type mismatch. Then resource unavailability. This is very important thing to understand, because sometimes we are trying to open a file which is not existing. We have given the path of file, we have given the name of the file, but that file is not existing there. So that is also kind of file not found error. Index or key out of bound exception. So sometimes we have only 10 values in the list and we are trying to access 11th value. Let us see how it is possible. In the same program we can take the example. Let us see. For example, I am keeping this also in comment so that we can reutilize it in future. Okay, so for example we have a list 1 equal to some values are there. Okay, in this list we have 5 element, means 5 values, And if we are trying to print here list 1 of 0, it will give the output, right? And if we are writing here list 1 of 4, 4 means fourth location, so 0 1 2 3 4, this is fourth location, which is the last one, so this is also displaying the value. But now if you are writing here 5, syntactically correct, but now fifth is going to be thrown error. What is error? Index error. Okay, list index out of range means we are trying to access the element of list which is not existing. We have here only 5 values and we are trying to access the element of 6th one which is not existing, so this is kind of error. Okay, so I hope you understood what is exception. And when we are going to learn the chapter of file handling, in that we will show file not found error also. Okay, so next we have understood the example. Now how to handle exception. So for handling exception we have try, we have else. Now let us understand what is the use of else here, what is use of except here. So already we have seen we have to use try statement, and all the codes which may focus, which may throw error like exception, we should put under try statement. And then except, if we know proper error handling key, then we can use their error handling key. Otherwise directly we can use except, and except also will be working fine. Okay, now else also we can use. Else will be executed if there is no exception. If your program is going to work properly, there is no exception, then the statement which you are putting under else will be executed. Okay, and if any exception is there, then this statement will be executed which is in the except. Okay, and finally statement is given, it is optional. Else is also optional, finally is also optional. Finally you can give where you want to execute or print a message whether exception is found or not found. In any case your program is running, this message you wanted to display anyhow, so this is used for finally. Okay, so let's check one by one in the same program. In the list also we can use here also. Let us put this statement under try list is created. Okay, now print, now except, and if you know the name of exception then we can write directly here, otherwise no problem, we can write except. So any kind of error is, any kind of exception is thrown, it will caught automatically. Print and just give message, you are trying to access the value in the list which is not available or found. Okay, accept is done. So let us run it. So now we can see message that you are trying to access the value in the list which is not found. It means it is handled properly. But if any error is not there, suppose we are trying to access fourth element, so it is going to print, it is not going to display this message. But now we can put here else statement also. Else means just we can write we can give proper message, list is working fine. Any statement which you want to display if properly program is working without exception. Okay, list is working fine. And one more statement we can give which is finally. Okay, finally means whether exception is thrown or not thrown, your program is running properly, it will display the message. So we can write here also thank you. Okay, so let us do it. So it is displaying, and if suppose error is found, exception is thrown, then thanks is again coming. Okay, after throwing the error means the statement which we have settled for error throwing, after displaying that message it is also displaying thanks. So finally statement we have to use, it is optional, but we have to use whenever you require to display the message whether your exception is thrown or not thrown, in all the cases. Okay, so we have understood. Now Let us check one example here. Zero division error, and you're trying to divide a number by 0, so it will be throwing you zero division error. In the place of only except, we also can write zero division error in the same format, and if exception is occurred due to zero division, then this message will be printed. But if exception is occurred due to value error, value means why it is important. Suppose if user is also not knowing what type of mistake he is doing, okay, maybe he is entering wrong numeric type value, or maybe he is entering wrong value only. So for that different type of different categories of error, we can differentiate different accept value. So accept statement we can write multiple time. So it depends ki how many types of exceptions may occur in your program. So on the basis of that exception type, we can write here types of exception. So let us try this also. So for example, we are writing everything, okay. So first of all, let us see the program. So first it was showing index error, so we can copy from here index error, and we can write here directly. So if in this program index error is found, then it will throw here message this is index error, okay. And if a program is having zero division error in the same program, so we can write here zero division error, okay, and value error, okay. So now let us run the same thing again. Press F5. Not showing, and not showing. This is index error showing, okay, because we are trying to access the number, okay. Now fourth, we are passing element 4, so now it is not displaying any error. List is working fine, okay, and output is also coming. Now in the same program, if I am trying to divide by 0, okay, now see, this is 0 error. So now 0 error is caught because we are trying to divide a number by 0, got it. And one more error is value error. And if you're trying to store here, for example, a character H, right, and H is located on 5th location. So let us first of all print, press F5, H is coming here. Now we are trying to convert this H into int. So int means it will throw value error, okay. This is value error, got it. So in this way we can handle exceptions in our program, and our program can be error free, okay. So with the help of this concept, we can understand. Now we are going to understand about the local and global variable. What is the use of local variable and what is the use of global variable? So global variable is very important part of any programming language, where when we define a variable outside of the scope of all the functions and classes, that is known as global variable. Once again, when we define a variable outside of the block of all the functions and all the classes, then that variable is known as global variable, and that variable is accessible by the object or any function directly. But any changes which you do, any changes is done by any object or any function, will be done directly into the global variable. It will reflect everywhere. I will tell with the help of example. So let us understand first of all example, then we come back to the theoretical point, okay. Then it is easier to understand. If first of all example is clear, practical example is clear, then theory is also going to be clear easily. So for example, I am making some functions, okay. So def fun1, this is function 1, okay, and I'm just printing here taking x equal to some value, and printing here function 1 comma x, right, and just going to copy and paste Okay, so now this is function 3, this is function 2, and this is also x, but here the value will be 400, and here I'm making it 500. Now this is function 3, function 2, and function 1. Now let us call one by one. Directly we can call the function fun, fun1, fun2, and fun3. Put parenthesis. Now press F5. So now we can see normally it is executed properly. Now what I want to say, what is use of your global variable? Okay, now x is also defined outside of all the function. So right now here this x is local, this x is also local variable, this is also local variable, because this is local to this function 3, this is local to this function 2, this is local to this function 1. Okay, so if you try to divide if you try to print outside of the function the value of x, it will throw error. See, x is not defined, right? It is not defined. Why not defined? Because it is local, and local means it is only existing in the scope of function. The life of this variable is existing in the scope of function. Okay, not outside of function it is found. That is why. But when we are declaring outside of all the function, x equal to 1000, right? So now see output. So you can see 1000 is coming here, but here it is coming 300, 400, 500. Means this x is going to be local, but when it is going to come in the scope of function, then the value of x is going to be changed, because this is local variable, this is local, this is local, this is not going to consider this global variable. So that is why this variable is not accessible here right now. Okay, but this is accessible here out of function, right? But if you want to make it global variable, so we have to use keyword global. Use global keyword. Now in this function 1, x is going to represent to this global variable. Okay, and in this global variable, if you want to display the value of x, let us see, then what is the output will be coming. So now we can see function 1 is showing 1000. Now if you are trying to change the value of x here, x equal to x plus 500, if you are going to modify the value of x, which is global, which is pointing to global variable, then the value will be changed in this function also for x, and the value will be changed for this x also, so it will display modified value. So now we can see it is displaying modified value because now it is pointing to global. So it means that whenever we use global keyword, then all the variables, means the variable which is shared with the global keyword, will be working as a global, and any function or anywhere any changes is done in the variable will be pointing everywhere wherever that variable has been used in the program. ओके, तो प्रोग्राम में कहीं पे भी उस वेरिएबल को हम यूज़ करेंगे तो वो हर एक स्थान पे अपडेटेड वैल्यू को ही पॉइंट करेगा. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जांपल इन दिस प्रोग्राम फंक्शन नंबर 2 x इज आल्सो देयर बट इट इज नॉट ग्लोबल वेरिएबल. तो इफ आई एम मेकिंग इट ग्लोबल, ओके, एंड दिस आल्सो ग्लोबल, then it will be keep on modifying the value. And when we are defining global, do not define with the immediate keyword, means immediate value, just reassign the value later on. So in function 3 if I am giving x equal to 10, means first of all the value of x is 1000. Okay, now in function 1 it is going to be 1500, in function 2 it is going to be means normal, there is no value given, so it will be displaying the same value 1500. And then in function 3 it is going to be reassigned, so it will be 10 only. It means final this statement will be printed with 10 value. Okay, so we got it. Function 1 is displaying 1500, 2 is 1500, 3 10, and after all the functions it is displaying only 10 because value has been modified. So I hope you understood about the global variable. And what is local variable? If you are not using the keyword global, so by default all the variables are local only. So local variable means it is not having access anywhere else apart from the scope in which it is declared. तो जिस स्कोप में वेरिएबल डिफाइन होता है उसी स्कोप तक वो सीमित रहता है. ठीक है, तो दैट इज द स्कोप ऑफ लोकल वेरिएबल. और ग्लोबल वेरिएबल कैन बी एक्सेस्ड एनीवेयर. ओके, तो दिस एग्जांपल यू आल्सो कैन अंडरस्टैंड. And the same thing about the local variable is also given, so we can understand with the help of example. I hope you understood about the concept of local and global variable and exception handling also clear. If still any doubt is there, you may ask in the comment. So thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much.